All right, so we got a pretty simple thing today. Just going to show you how to do oil change on F-150. What year is this?
2002.
2002 F-150. Should be pretty easy. Just take the oil out, put it in, change the oil filter. All right, so oil-wise, it tells you pretty much what oil you should use, and that says 5W20. But today, since this thing does have
over 200,000 miles.
Yeah, over 200,000 miles. We are going to use high mileage Mobil 1 stuff, 530. So we'll try that out. And that's about it. And whenever you're doing oil change, it's always good. Look at your coolant and just look at all your fluids. Make sure everything's in tip-top shape. It looks like somebody might need to refill their window washer fluid.
Yeah, that's money.
That is money. And this truck's going to go bye-bye soon. So,
I don't care.
We will get going on this. She's free. All right. So that's the oil drain. And it's right behind the motor, and the oil drain itself points towards the passenger wheel. So we got the oil drain out, and the oil is draining. You just want to let this drain till pretty much it stops. Discovered, I don't know if you can see it, but the mid threads here are shot, and they're about half the size they should be. So what that's going to do is we're going to have an oil leak if we try and put this back in. So we're going to run over and get a new one. So we got back from the auto store. We got this, a new drain plug. So all the threads are nice and even now. But this aftermarket thread, or plug, I should say, is a different size than earlier. Earlier, the stock plug is going to be a 16 millimeter. This is 13. Alright, so when you're putting it on, make sure you don't cross thread it and ruin your threads. Make sure you're tightening. Get out of the way. See, it always helps to go the right way on a wrench too. The oil filter is up here. This oil filter does kind of suck, just a heads up. There's no real nice and easy way to get at it. Most of it's gonna have to be by hand. What we did was we loosened it up with a pair of pliers here that are made for oil filter. And you can call them an oil filter wrench. They're more or less a plier. Alright, so since it's up here, once it's loose like that, you're going to want to bring your drain tube up because it kind of goes everywhere. Like, should start draining. There you go. And then it has a natural drain spout here. And I'd let it go for a couple minutes. Then you can pull it out. And it should be okay. Whenever you're taking oil filters off, every oil filter is going to have an O-ring here. And that's going to be on there to keep it sealed. Make sure that comes with it. You don't want to forget about this, because if you forget about it and it's still on there, you're going to have a nice problem and a nice puddle underneath your truck when you go to start it when you're all done. So with some of this residual oil here, I like to, if I can, I like to just put a little bit on top of it so it's easier to pop on and everything. And this truck should take 6 quarts, give or take an extra half a quart, quarter or something, because you never know. Every time might be a touch different. And if you can kind of see it, it's right below the max. And so we're going to start it up then. As you can see, no leaks seen. That's always good. And then you want to let it sit for a minute, and then we'll check the dipstick and make sure everything's okay. And we should be ready. And we're done. Alright, so the tools needed for this job are probably a pair of gloves. If you don't want gloves, it doesn't matter. It just keeps your hands clean. So today, if you have a stock truck, you are going to need a 16mm socket. But we had to get an aftermarket because our old plug was shot, and that was a 14mm socket. We also used a oil filter pliers. Could not think of it. And you could either use a 1/2-inch socket wrench, or you can use a 3/8 inch. I just have 1/2 inch. Either one would work, because I think they do make a 3/8 drive for 14 and 16mm. So that's all you're going to need today.